Snapped podcast. My name is Tyler Kluver, and I am a former Division I athlete turned entrepreneur. I run my own fitness and nutrition coaching business, as well as a sports media brand that produces podcasts, sells merchandise, and creates exclusive paid content. The fun part is I don't really know what I'm doing as a business owner. I'm just figuring it out day by day. This show, Snapped, acts as an audio journal for my thoughts and ideas on fitness, health, business, mindset, and whatever else I find important on the pursuit to personal happiness and a balanced life. I hope you can take something from the show that makes your life a little bit better. And regardless, I'm just happy you're here. Let's have a day. Let's go. All right. Snap podcast. Here we go. Been putting this off all day, sitting here, got it on my to-do list, and it's like, we better get this going or it's not going to happen. So this is a fun one. We are into the CrossFit-ish season. You're going to get to hear about mostly CrossFit for the next 7 weeks, 2 months. However, I know that you come to listen to this because there could be some tidbits, or you want there to be tidbits. And if there isn't something that you can take away, like in that intro, I'm like, I hope you can take something away to make your life a little bit better. And then I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm going, well, if I just talk about how I did a workout in 7 minutes and 40 seconds, I'm not sure what they're going to get from that. So I'm going to try and find a way to make this valuable for the listeners as much as I can, while also indulging myself in what is honestly probably my favorite part of the year as far as fitness stuff goes. It is the one time of year that, with what I'm currently involved in, and that is CrossFit, the community itself, CrossFit community, challenges its members, its constituents, and the Worldwide Open happens. We talked a little bit about that the last couple weeks. We've been previewing it. It is a way for literally anybody who participates in CrossFit, or not even like, you sitting at home right now who just runs, 3 to 5 days a week, or who just lifts weights in the gym 3 to 5 days, like, is a way for literally anybody to participate and test themselves based on CrossFit standards. Obviously, there's a lot of CrossFit sort of specific exercises or workout styles that are going to come up out of this, but it is a incredible test of overall fitness. I think you'd be lying to yourself if you looked at this test that I'm about to talk about in the first week of the Open that I completed last Friday, and the 2 tests that will come out following that. Another one comes out tomorrow and then another one next week. You put those 3 tests together, and those 3 tests give you a pretty good snapshot of like your general cardio fitness. But not just your cardio fitness, also your ability to deal with a few different implements, maybe a rowing machine, maybe a jump rope, maybe a dumbbell, maybe a set of rings or a bar. Um, it tests strength, tests skill. There's a lot of things that are really cool about this. And especially if you're then in the CrossFit community, it's like a measuring stick. It's like every year this thing comes up in February, March, and it's a measuring stick of like, how willing are we to go to the dark place, make yourself hurt? How much have you trained over the last year? How much work have you put in? And where do you really, what gets me going is, where do you stack up? Where do you stack up against every single other person in the world that cares about this thing? How fit are you? What are you capable of performance-wise? So that's where we're at. Talked a little bit about my my personal expectations, or we'll call them expectations heading into this Open. Obviously, we have uh, the not stipulations, but sort of the clarifiers, the asterisks that are put on this year. I have, Since this happened last year, I have had 2 severe, I would say, severe setbacks, with my back. Fortunately, and it may be as a byproduct of having the back injury and not being able to do much else, fortunately, the rest of my body has felt very, very good. My knees have historically, all the way back into my high school career, not been great. They've been a weak spot, although compared to most people, I'd say they're actually in decent shape, but felt pretty good other than my back. And so haven't been able to train the last year like I've wanted to. When you can't train like you want to, it takes your mind out of it. And when you're not mentally locked in, then you take another step or two back. And you could honestly call the last year still a transitional year. It was 23 was the first full calendar year of me being a dad, me being a parent. Um, owning my owning 2 of my own businesses and money-making operations is a constant changing and ebb and flow of trying to figure stuff out and readjusting and resituating to new schedules, lifestyles, responsibilities, all these things. That's sort of as you become more and more into an adult, uh, you have to consider. They add stress to your life. They take time away from what you could be doing. If I don't think about it often, but a real quick brainstorm, a quick daydream of what it would be like or what it was like when I didn't have a child. Yeah, it was pretty easy to just work out. I could work out so much. And I still more than most people can work out so much. But even now, it's like, it's I want to have the entire afternoon from the minute I pick my daughter up at daycare at 3:30. It's family time. Like, I am not trying to do work. I'm not trying to do workouts. I get all of that done during the day. So, it cuts down your window when you start to prioritize. All that being said, excuses, excuses. I am where I am. The workout 3, 2, 1, go hits, and it's time to put up or shut up. No one cares how many kids you have or what injuries you had or what your job's like. You are as fit as you are fit. And so it's a fun time of year. Even talked last week about how there would be a team situation happening. Let's not get too far down the team thing here. I, we did register as a team in the open, and maybe I'll talk about it quickly. The team that we have put together and that came together is not going to make the quarterfinals. We just don't have it. Um, and selfishly, it's not going to be because of me, but it's okay. Like that was never the pursuit anyway. So individually is where we will find myself this year and what we will be talking about leaderboard wise and all of that. And now that I've talked for almost 9 minutes about really nothing, uh, how did we do? What was open workout number one? For those inside the CrossFit community, very cool to have Dave Castro back on the mic. Dave has been the head of the games, the sports side of things for, I don't know, over a decade now. And he's kind of like the lovable villain that is the face of CrossFit. Like he kind of serves as a, wow, screw you, Dave. Like you're the one who wrote this workout. You're the one who's like inflicting this pain on the community, but in like a fun way. He makes things fun. He makes things dramatic and overly, it's a hyperbolic sort of feeling and vibe to the whole event and situation. He announced the workout, very simple workout, week 1, and supposedly this is going to be the theme this year for 2024 is like you do not need a lot. Sort of goes along with the TKG training. If you're watching on the YouTube, I'm pointing at the which haven't posted on forever. Nonetheless, the training continues to get programmed and it continues to happen. Check out TKG training for 30-minute at-home workouts. All you need is some dumbbells, occasionally a jump rope, but you don't necessarily need one. There's some substitutes in there. You can get pretty darn good fitness for less than $1 a day at TKG Training. TylerCluver.com if you're interested, or hit me in the DMs. Workout number 1, 24.1. Simple. 15-minute time cap. 21 dumbbell snatches on the right arm, 21 lateral burpees over the dumbbell. 21 dumbbell snatches on the left arm, 21 burpees over the dumbbell. 15, 15, 15, 15, 9, 9, 9, 9. Classic 21, 15, 9 rep scheme, but doubled because the dumbbell snatch happens on both arms. Doesn't matter which arm you start with, but you have to hit 21, 15, 9 on both arms, and 2 sets of 21, 2 sets of 15, 2 sets of 9 burpees. That is a total, if you do the quick math, of 90 reps of each. 90 reps of burpees over the dumbbell, 90 dumbbell snatches. Go. And what should be, and quite honestly, it's a little bit sad that I'm not in like the peak shape. Because this is a workout that was built for me. This is my workout. There's a lot of times where an open workout can come out. You can complain, oh, I'm not very good at this. Oh, I haven't been able to do this. There's no skill required in this workout. There's nothing but it's a shorter person workout, which in CrossFit 5'10" is sort of in the middle, maybe even on the larger side. But I consider myself like a smaller guy. I like operate as a smaller guy. I'm great at burpees traditionally, and dumbbell snatch is something I've been doing for over 10 years, in every way, shape, and form. Unfortunately, because of the hinging, both the burpee and the dumbbell snatch are basically just folding your body in half and then opening it back up with your lower back. I haven't touched either of these movements in a intense Metcon setting, conditioning, EMOM, CrossFit, HIT, circuit training interval setting for 3 months since I hurt my back in November. That's done me well because obviously my back is healthy. But in fact, the dumbbell snatch, and it was a heavy dumbbell squat snatch at the time, was the workout that put me back. It's the one that reflared up my back. So haven't done these movements in a while. So my volume, muscle fatigue, sort of capacity on that, not as good as it could have been. However, still not bad. My engine and cardio, like just pure VO2 max right now, is probably the best it's ever been. And as a combination of all those things and all those factors, your boy turned in a score of 7 minutes and 42 seconds, which is good for 4,138th in the world. Not too bad. Not too shabby, especially considering that 161,000 men signed up for this thing, and I got almost top 4,000. That's pretty good. In fact, that's really freaking good if you're listening and you're like, wow, that's 160,000 people. You got 4,000th. Yeah, it's not bad. And you're saying you could have done better. Yeah, I actually think I could have gotten, in a perfect world. I think if I just went again, because I held back a little too much. I think if I just went again, I actually get like closer to, I get under 7.5 minutes. And I think in a perfect world, like I'm down in the 7:10 range here, maybe pushing the 7-minute mark. So yeah, man, that's not too bad, right? 7:42. My back didn't feel a thing from 90 dumbbell snatches, 90 burpees. It hurt bad after the workout. It wasn't too bad till right at the end of the workout. Um, as far as like moving on, again, we talked about that a little bit on a few podcasts this year. They've moved to 25% as a qualifying number for those moving on to the next round. So, I think in my region, which is the North America West region, I'm going to have to place like top 7,000 or something like that. and I'm currently sitting in 606th. So we're going to be fine, especially because when you start to, again, this is the idea of CrossFit. Uh, when you start to do multiple workouts, you put multiple scores together, you start testing in total a multitude of things. I'm pretty good at everything, and I will continue to rise up the leaderboard as a lot of people who are just good at this workout or might be good at the first two workouts but not the last one start to fall off. Um, so 606 in the region. I guess if we want to go over it, I think I was 17th in the state of Iowa. Um, I feel good about it. But the main thing is, and we've talked about this, is I'm trying to stay healthy this year. And we've gone over the fact that I'm currently in week 2 of my half marathon training. Like, we are at the peak of all these different things sort of coming together. We just finished a row program. Super excited to talk to you guys about the row program. Unbelievable results. We rode yesterday morning. We pushed it back a couple days. Even missed the last true training workout of the program, but took off a lot of time on my 2K row and put up a pretty respectable 2K row time, especially for someone who's built like me, which is not the ideal build for a rower. Um, but I've been running, I've been rowing, I've been doing CrossFit, I've been doing lifting. My body's been under a lot of stress lately. And so to put up a 742, which, a lot of really, really good people, several who have been to the top level of CrossFit, the CrossFit Games, put up times in the high sixes, low sevens range. So I'm under a minute away from some of these people. That's really cool for me. To be, oh gosh, I don't even know if I can search by US, United States. Here we go. In the United States, ya boy. Oh, it still doesn't tell me. It's not that cool. Um, oh yeah, it tells me right here. In the United States, I am 1200th, 1198th, 606th in the in our side of the US, and then 4100th in the world. Really not bad, man. Really not bad. You know? Again, I'm not going to be qualifying as an individual this year, but to try and push the tempo, push the pace, push the line of where I can finish and how much I can compete with the big dogs. That's really the thing this year. Um, so very cool first week. Happy with the first week. Honestly, couldn't be more happy with the first week when the priority goal is to stay healthy, and we did that. And honestly, more than anything, a confidence booster. Like the fact that I didn't know what I didn't know. I knew I had trained well in an aerobic sense, but I haven't done a whole lot of skill. I haven't touched a dumbbell. I haven't done all these things. I didn't know where I was going to line up. And I've done some workouts. This one specifically, I did by myself, right? I wasn't even in like a hype environment. Done a couple workouts at the gym with the boys and competed really well there. I'm in a good spot right now. So my self-confidence level in my fitness right now is maybe the biggest thing, which is going to be good heading into week 2 and 3. I if we want to get real nerdy about it here at the end of the podcast, what are some things you guys can take away from this experience? What are some things that I'm looking for in the next couple weeks of the open? I think that um, you know, if I learned anything about this workout, it is trust yourself. Trust your training. See how far you can push the envelope. And we've talked about that plenty on here. But if you feel yourself and it doesn't hurt that bad, don't think that it's just going to. Turn the knob up 1 or 2 dials. See how far you can put your hand close to the flame and, like, ride that fire a little bit. Because again, I think if I did that on this one and I kind of came out balls to the wall and just tried to hang on, I think I might shave off 15 or 20 seconds. Who knows? As far as, like, again, the nerdy detail nuance of the open, obviously burpees are gone and the dumbbell snatch is gone. So, ooh, I would say you'd be hard pressed if we were going to see a dumbbell again, and we will not see a burpee again. There's only 3 weeks and there's plenty of movements to fit in there. Things that happen all the time in the open, almost all the time, are some kind of muscle up, a toe to bar, probably some kind of box jump. A barbell will make an appearance at some point. There will probably be a thruster. I'd like for there to be rowing, although it doesn't show up as often as I'd like it to. So those are some of the things that we'll see announced tomorrow, likely. This workout was a shorter one, right? Short time frame. For the large majority of competitive-ish or even just generally fit people, you're looking at a 6 to 10 minute time frame. There's probably generally going to be in this format for the CrossFit. There's going to be one where the best are sort of more closer to like a 9 to 12 minute time frame, and then there's probably going to be one that's time like time dependent, or time priority, meaning, uh, or I guess task priority, meaning the time is set. Like it's going to be 18 minutes or it's going to be 20 minutes long, and it's more of a how many reps can you get, not how fast you can go. So, that's what we're staring down. I don't like those. I'm better at these short ones. But we had a good time. We stayed healthy. We're in a great spot on the leaderboard. I think the last thing I'll say is, last year in the open specifically, my 3 scores, or I guess my 4 scores in the open totaled, which I think I got like 1700th in the open last year. Yeah, 1748th. I got that placing with an average individual workout placing of 4,300 total points per workout. So with a 4138 on the first workout, I am under that threshold, and it may not be 1 to 1, but that gives me an early predictor sort of right now of where I may finish on the total worldwide leaderboard when this thing is said and done. So we're just under that bar. Like, we might have a chance of actually improving again this year, and that's really exciting. Um, Again, more to come. We'll talk about the second week of the open workout next week, the third after that, and then eventually the rowing program. Talk more about the half marathon training. Did a threshold run today, starting to run race pace pretty easily. Like I can get to 7:38, no big deal, in the middle of a run or for a couple miles straight out the gate. Me and my brother are going to fucking crush Damn to DSM. I have a feeling in 14 weeks we are going to be dialed, and we are going to run that thing hard and fast, and it's gonna be pretty sick. So thank you guys for joining me. Remember, TKG training, tylerkluver.com. Go out and do something hard, challenge yourself. Your excuses are not valid, as I said earlier on the show. Until next time, peace.